and welcome to EnderCast, more fun than a game of buggers and astronauts. Today is Wednesday, August 21st, 2013, and you are listening to episode 28, Salaam. I'm Kelly from EnderNews.com, here with Crystal from EnderWigan.net. Say hi, Crystal.
Hey, guys.
We also have a very special guest today. Suraj Partha is here with us, who plays Eli in the Ender's Game movie. Suraj,
Hi,
you want to
everybody.
say hey?
Hi, guys. Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming on. We're excited to have you here.
Sure thing.
So, I guess the first thing we would like to maybe ask you is just your Ender's Game background, like, how you heard about Ender's Game, if you read the book before, the audition process. Just, what do you got?
Yeah, sure. So, let me see. So, I guess, I have an agent, so they sort of contacted me about auditioning for Ender's Game, for the character Eli. I hadn't heard of the book before the audition, but what I did was I actually went and I was looking for something to read anyways. So I went and I bought the book and I read it, I think overnight in one night.
Yeah.
Before the audition, which was really easy because the book is so good. And that was when it really hit me, all right, this is a really, really good book. And it's gonna, I knew that the film was gonna be pretty big, at least. I had heard about the fan following and stuff, and it was pretty insane. So I was really looking forward to being part of, but you never know with this industry. You never know what happens. So I auditioned in September of, I can't keep track of my years, 2011. And then basically, yeah, way
Crazy
back,
that it's 2011 we're talking about.
Right, exactly. I know. I can't even comprehend that. But so I auditioned in September of 2011, and I didn't get called at all till December, and they told me I had the part in
Wow.
December. So that was 4 months. By that point, I had assumed that it was long gone.
Sure.
Right. So.
And you were 14 then? You're 16,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I was 14 then. Jeez. Yeah. So that's ridiculous. Yeah. So I found out, and I was just utterly sobbing. It was a really big deal for me. Yeah,
I would have been sobbing.
Yeah, it's one of it's obviously the biggest thing that I've been able to have a chance to do in my career. So I was really happy for that. At that point, what was cool is I only knew the only person I think that was confirmed at that point I think was Asa, that I knew of. And then I guess, Aramis had trickled in, Kylan had trickled in. And then all of a sudden I'm just typing in Ender's Game on Google to see what happens. And I'm starting to see Harrison Ford rumored, Ben rumored. And I'm oh, this is a whole nother level now.
It blows my mind that you guys have to find out things like that via Google. I know nobody's going to call you and be like, hey, Harrison Ford signed on or whatever, but just the idea of it is so strange to me.
They keep everything so close to the chest,
right.
Especially with the number of kids there are and with all of us, going and talking to our friends and stuff, they just have no idea what's going to happen. So I guess it's just better to keep it safe and, which I totally understand. Yeah, but it's pretty funny though, because I found out about Ender's Game news from you guys too. I'm constantly looking and I'm oh, wow, this person is scoring or this person's doing this or this is what happened. It's pretty hilarious.
During Comic-Con, several of the parents, your guys' moms and everyone were saying that. They said that, they find out Ender's Game news from the fan sites, and that's so crazy.
Well, that's what we're for, right? We dig everything up and we put it out there for people to find.
Exactly. Yeah, so, let me see. So, I saw the stuff being rumored, and then we flew into New Orleans in February. And I think by that point we knew that that Harrison Ford, Sir Ben, Haley Abbey, who else am I missing? Viola was going to be shooting with us, which is blowing my mind. Those are people that, for me, I don't know, when I was a kid, I didn't necessarily grow up since I was 3 years old thinking I was going to be an actor.
Right.
So, I watched Moises, and I know for sure I was watching Harrison Ford and Abby. I watched them all on TV and, in movie theaters just to watch them, as in a film. And to sort of get a chance to work with all of them just blew my mind, and it was really, really amazing.
At any point did it become sort of you got used to it? It wasn't a big deal anymore, or is it still a thing?
With the people that are my age, with Asa, with Haley and Abby, we were good friends by that, midway through the shoot. I went to London the other I went to London in June, and we went and visited Asa, and we went on a picnic and stuff. So I mean, now we're just good friends. I mean, like we're like Snapchatting each other at this point, like.
Right.
So I mean, like yeah, once you get to that point, like we're good friends and we talk all the time, and it's not as big of a deal. But I know that when I first like fathomed the idea, I was like, whoa, this is insane. So I remember it was with Ben Kingsley. So for you guys who don't know, so Ben Kingsley, he was so Sir Ben, he acted as Gandhi in Gandhi, like way back in the 80s, I guess. And so for Indians, that's kind of like the quintessential film like that represents us. And so when I talk to my relatives in India, I don't mention Harrison Ford first. I'm like, oh, the biggest actor is Sir Ben Kingsley, who was Gandhi. That's what I always tell them. Right. And I had watched Gandhi like the week before we went for like the first read through the script, and I walked in the door and I turned to my right, see Sir Ben Kingsley. I literally just walked out of the room, and like I had to like take a breather. I was like, okay, well, hold on, just calm down.
He doesn't really age that much, yeah? I mean, no. He still kind of looks almost exactly as he did, as I remember him in his older movies in the 90s, so...
Right.
Yeah, he hasn't at all. He hasn't aged as much at all. Of course, like in Gandhi, I know they had to age him to make him look older as well. Right. But, I mean, he's in really good shape, I guess.
So, I don't know if you guys saw, but there was a video interview of Viola Davis a while back, and it was actually kind of cute. She was actually talking about how she was nervous to be acting around Harrison Ford, and how she was having like a kind of a fangirl moment meeting him on set. So, I mean,
oh, man.
I just find it funny that, like, I mean, for you, it was like, oh, wow, Viola Davis is going to be in this movie. But, like, with her, she was just like, oh, wow, Harrison Ford is going to be in this movie.
You want to be like, woman, you are Viola Davis.
I know. I'm glad to know I'm not alone there and being a little starstruck for sure. Yeah, so, I mean, let me see. So, I guess that was everything leading up. And then, obviously, we did training. So we did a lot of military stuff. We went to space camp, which was insane. And then we got right into it. We did a couple of script read-throughs, and then it was just straight shooting every single weekday from March till June, basically.
So
what did you guys do on the weekend?
When exactly did you guys go to space camp?
Space camp was in February of 2012, okay. So last February.
How long were you there?
I can't remember. I think we were there for, it was a week. It was right around a week.
That's a while.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry?
That's
it was definitely, it was a long time. We were in bunks. It was kind of cool, I guess. Gavin talked about how he wanted that to be not only training for us as far as the film, but he wanted it to be a good bonding time for all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, so like it must have been 6 of us. It was me, Asa, Connor, me. I think it was 6 of us, I believe. 7, Brandon, right. So there were 7 of us there. I mean, we were all in this super, super tiny like bunk room, and we all had bunk beds, and we were waking up at like 6:30 in the morning and had to get everything ready by 7 and had to have the room spotless. And then we did all of our training. I mean, so much of it, like a lot of it was abstract. I mean, we got to simulate. What did we do? We flew simulated F-15 planes.
Wow.
We did a lot of like just zero gravity, sort of like going underwater and trying to perform tasks underwater just to see kind of how difficult it would be to perform those tasks in space, I guess. So we did a lot of good training, and of course, in that 1 week, I mean, we became really good friends as well. So it was a really, really great experience. And then you never know, like, I mean, definitely when we were shooting the battle room scenes and shooting the command school scenes, some of that stuff that we did, it really clicks with you. It kicks in, and you're like, oh, I can use that as inspiration for what I'm doing right now, Especially when so much of what you're shooting is all green screen and you can't see what it is, and I haven't even seen what it is. I won't see what it is until I see the film. So having some tangible memory to sort of use as inspiration was very helpful as well.
What did you think of the trailer? The latest one?
It's amazing. It really is. The first one I know I watched, I was glad to see myself in there. I'm like, yes, okay, now people know I'm not lying to them when I say my movie. Right. But I mean, it really was it was just epic. The first thing that I noticed was how epic it was, just the CGI, how perfect it looked. And we had seen some of the concept art, so we had an idea for it, but seeing it in full motion and seeing stuff happen was really amazing. I guess, I guess when you're on set, like, there is a certain level of, I wouldn't say fake. It doesn't look fake, but, you're still there in the moment. But at the same time, like, like, sets are obviously not made of metal, So a lot of the sets are made of wood and stuff, but seeing it on screen, like, it's very, very realistic, and you just get lost in it. And then the second trailer, I mean, I don't know how they did it, but I just thought it was better than the first one.
So did I. Yeah.
It's very
exciting. We saw it at Comic-Con on the big screen in Hall H, and it was just, I don't know, like, it was overwhelming.
It was overwhelming.
In the room with, like, all those people, like 6,000 people, and Harrison Ford was like 20 feet away, and we were just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was weird.
I think it was just the crowd. I mean, just because everybody was screaming, and I don't know, just having a lot of people around with you watching it makes it so much better somehow.
Right. Yeah, I mean that one, I think they really revealed a lot more of how the seriousness of the film as well. And honestly how serious the themes are, and how serious the film is as a whole, with the alien invasion, with a lot of that footage being shown, a lot of the command school simulation stuff, a lot of that stuff being shown as well. And a lot more dialogue to sort of, from Harrison Ford, from Asa, to describe just how serious and how I don't know, how real the story is, and how real the themes are. I thought that was really great that they were able to implement all that stuff there.
So that's actually a good segue into our next topic, which was the PG-13 rating, which there hasn't been an official MPAA announcement, but the EW Fall movie preview had it printed in there, and Summit confirmed that it's been given a PG-13 rating. So, yes. I mean, I for me, I never thought that it would be anything but PG-13. But right. I mean, I've seen a couple comments where people felt like it had to be rated R, and I didn't really understand that mentality.
No, neither.
I mean, there's a couple. I mean, like, if I can just, like, I'm just trying to think of other films as well. I mean, Hunger Games. I mean, I think that the main thing is people were saying that the violence, like that you wouldn't be able to show the violence and how important that was to Ender as a character. You wouldn't be able to show that if it wasn't rated R.
But it's all about how they cut it, Like, exactly what you see. Like, it can still be really violent. Like, Hunger Games showed all those kids slaughtering each other in an arena, and it's PG-13. Like, if they can do that and pull it off well, then... Well,
and I think Gavin, of course, did a really great job with it. I mean, I think I was reading an interview where he said that, and he told us as well, that, like, my point is not to show violence, just to show violence.
Right.
Like, I show violence because that's an integral part of him as a character, and that is just development that you have to see as an audience to understand him better. And so I think that is definitely shown. Like, it's there, but it's not a violent film in the same right at all. It what has to be there is definitely there, and I think that people who are worried, I don't think there's any reason to worry about that at all.
Yeah, but I mean, I just don't understand why people thought that it meant that it should be R, because I think of R movies, and they're pretty up there in violence. It's not anywhere near. I mean, like, even with Hunger Games, it wasn't mild at all. But I can see why Hunger Games got PG-13 at the same time, because, I mean, if you look at R-rated movies, they're, like, really violent, or there's, like, horror movies and things like that.
Yeah, that's completely unnecessary for Ender's Game.
Right. Well, I mean, and yeah, they're definitely violent. And I think the other thing that we want to shoot for PG-13 rating, I think also, I mean, Ender's Game is such a universal book, and it's a kid's book, and it's an adult's book.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a book for everyone. Literally, it's a book for everyone, and it appeals to everyone.
Yeah.
As kids, you read it and you gain something. And I know that every time consecutively that I've read it, I think I've read it like 3 times. I think I've read it, and every time you see something different as you mature. You see something different, right? Something new that you didn't see before. And so I think that we wanted to preserve that PG-13 rating so everyone could see it. If it's R, I mean, all of a sudden kids are just not going to go see it.
Yeah, that's a huge portion of the audience that's being...
It's like a barrier, right? I mean,
right.
I mean, R-rated movies do well, but I mean, PG-13, it just seems a little strange that you'd have like a movie that is meant to have kids think about things and debate serious topics, and then they couldn't actually go see it on their own, kind of thing.
Right.
I mean, that's just weird to me, so...
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. I can just definitely say that, like, I just don't think there's anything to be really worried about as far as PG-13. I don't think we, like, really downgraded anything in the film. I think, whatever's there is in the book is it's there. Yeah, but I agree with you. I don't see why it had to be R rated. That doesn't make any sense to me either.
Because I mean, even the book, there's only 2 real scenes of violence, so or maybe 3 if you count Peter. So I don't know. I mean,
Right.
three fights to me is not R rated. So
No, of course not.
or
No,
maybe I'm just
definitely.
desensitized.
Maybe.
Have you,
Yes.
Suraj,
Sorry.
Crystal's been covering this. I don't know if you saw, but in Cologne in Germany, Crystal, you want to mention
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
going on there?
I saw this.
it's like the biggest gaming convention in the
awesome
world.
laser tag
It's
thing.
called Gamescom,
God.
and the German distributor Constantine Films they set up a laser tag arena at Gamescom.
That's a good idea.
And if I mean, Serge, you've done the real thing, so maybe it's not quite as exciting for you. But I mean, we saw this and we're just like, oh my god,
I'm so jealous.
I'm
I
gonna
know.
go. Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna go look it up right now. Yeah, I saw this really briefly. Yeah, that is insane. So they set up like is it like almost like a laser game basically?
It's like
Yeah,
laser tag. They
yeah.
set up a whole arena, like you saw the Ender's Game experience at Comic-Con. They have a very similar kind of tent type thing set in the hall where you can go in and like hide behind stars and just
That is great.
play a game of laser tag. It looks completely awesome.
Yeah, they had
That is amazing.
they had people like pre-register teams and things like that, and they're giving out
Yeah.
things to the people that play and stuff like that. And
Oh yeah, no, I'm seeing these pictures now. Wow.
And actually, like I lived in Germany for the better part of 8 years, and for me, it's really interesting to see Germans getting into that. It's hard. It's a little harder to get German people like excited about films, and like in America, it's so easy. We have all of our crazy entertainment industry and like Comic-Con. In Germany, they're a little bit more reserved.
Right.
But that
well,
just
I
sounds
mean,
awesome.
it is a gaming convention, so I mean, people in the gaming industry you travel from all around the world to go to
Yeah,
Gamescom.
sure.
So
I
mean, I think
Cologne, Germany. It's so funny.
it's
Sounds
such
like so much fun, man. I'm gonna have my dad fly me to Germany.
well, the convention
Better
is,
get on that fast.
I know the convention is it's like what 4 days or something. So, but today was the first day, so yeah,
I really
you
need
still got
something
time.
like that here.
still barely got time, but I've got school to worry about. So, wow, this is really really cool, and I see that it comes out October 24th over there, which is interesting.
And it was moved back a week. Like earlier, I think it was the like nearly Halloween, like 29th. I'm so jealous, and it's just that's so much earlier than we're getting it, right? Like,
I know it's like a week. It's like a week earlier.
I'm gonna go back to Germany. Just to see the film.
Right.
You shouldn't have moved away.
Oh man, yeah. Well, that's really something. That's really impressive, actually. Yeah, they do need to make this in the U.S. This is way too cool.
You have more pull than us, Serge. Make a phone call.
I'll try my best. I promise about that. Oh man.
I wonder if they're gonna like publish like a video of people playing. I would love to see video of people playing that.
Yeah, right.
Get some professionals in there. See what they can do.
Definitely. Professional laser tag people.
I'm sure they exist. There's probably like a world tournament or something.
Definitely. I know that like when I was a kid, I was obsessed with Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and Yu-Gi-Oh they had like tournaments for Yu-Gi-Oh. So they definitely have tournaments for laser tag. Definitely.
We have a laser tag arena down here, and I went I think last year. Still fun.
I haven't played laser tag in years, in a really long time. I need to go back. I need to go back and like go with my friends. That'll actually be a lot of fun.
See,
Next
this
time
is an
we're all with the-
opportunity. They could bring laser tag back by turning it into Ender's Game laser tag.
There you go.
Next time we're all in the same city, we should go play laser tag. It'd be hilarious.
Let's do it.
See who comes out on top.
Sure. Yeah. No. Definitely. I'll talk to Kyle and we'll get it set up.
Yeah. So what are you up to these days?
So, it's been an interesting summer for me. So I went to London and Paris, which was really cool, getting to go to Europe. So I went to London when I was like 3 years old. So this was the first time to get to go back to both of those places.
I love London. I love it.
It's a beautiful city. It really is. And I mean, a couple of things. First of all, I mean, like the Indian food was off the charts over there. It was really really good. Really good.
Like
Indian
cheap places, like hole in the wall places in London, you can get the most amazing Indian food.
Right. It was amazing. Yes, I mean, I went there. I mean, did all the touristy stuff. I got to see Asa. We hung out there and went to picnics and played. I don't even know. We played like tag and like just like threw a ball around. It was a lot of fun. Went to go to a Indian restaurant to eat together. It's amazing, people in Britain, they really know their Indian food.
Mm-hmm.
I was really surprised to like walk into the restaurant and I was like, I'm talking to Asa, I'm like, oh, what are you going to get? And he's like, oh, I'm going to get this dosa with this and the sambar. And I'm like, you know all this stuff? Like, this is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
you know like where I come from. This is totally awesome. So it was something new I learned about him. But yeah, so I mean, we got to go to London, Paris. I did an open mic. I was lucky enough to be able to sing at an open mic thing in Paris, which was
That's
a lot of cool. My is it my aunt? I don't know. Someone related to me was able to set that up. What was really cool is that we said, oh yeah, he's coming. He's going to be in the up and coming Ender's Game film, and even in Paris, like to just see people like Ender's Game, what? Like the amount of reaction I got in that room of like 100 people, I was really surprised. I mean, every day I'm astounded by the fans all over the world, and I knew in the U.S. it was really big, and I knew it was big. But it's one thing to like hear, oh yeah, it's a very big book, and it's another thing to go somewhere and have people recognize it. That's really insane.
You know what's really weird? Honestly, when I started Ender News, I didn't even know that it was really that big. I thought that Ender's Game was something that had been recommended to me when I was in ninth grade. I thought it was like a personal thing, and I really had no idea how many people knew that book. And
Right.
it still blows my mind now, just how everyone's talking about it, everybody knows about it. I wasn't aware at all. Crystal, did you have an idea?
No, and what kind of surprised me was how many versions of the posters that they had. I mean, they have a Russian poster, they have a German poster,
Right.
a French poster, a Spanish poster. It was cool, like to see that it was such a global kind of.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I don't know. I was surprised, and I have to wonder, like, where they're gonna have premieres and things. I mean, I would think they would have one in London since Asa is based there. But yeah, I mean, I would wonder. I was wondering, are they gonna have one in Berlin, in Paris, or Russia? I mean, I don't know if I've ever heard of a Russian movie premiere, but
They do premiere things. I have a friend of mine who lives in Moscow, and she went and saw Daniel Radcliffe in, was it The Woman in White? Is that the name of the movie? They have like huge premieres over there.
wow,
Oh, really?
I didn't know
yeah,
that
I had
either.
no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, worldwide appeal for this book. I mean, it's just it really is amazing. I mean, even just even on Twitter to get people like in Brazil and
You said
and
Brazil.
to get tweets at. I mean, I'm getting tweets that I can't even read them.
Me too, and I'm like, I'm so sorry.
It's so funny you mentioned Brazil because in the Hunger Games, like the Brazilian fans are like the most fanatical ones. They're the ones always saying, "Could we get a tweet for your Brazilian fans?" And like
Right.
in almost any fandom, I see people saying, "Can you get like tweeting to the actors, saying, can we
They're
get a tweet,
passionate
say hi
people.
to the Brazil fans?"
Right, it's hilarious. It really is. But I mean, just tweets, I can't even read them. And I'm like trying to go on Translate to try and translate it. And then I try and like translate it back. So I take the English and try and convert that into Russian so I can reply back like natively.
So
Like,
nice.
it's just funny.
Suraj, someone I posted on, Ender News Facebook that you were coming on the show today, and they wanted to know, Kyrie Miranda wanted me to ask you if you are practicing your Spanish. I don't know if that's an inside thing, but she wants to know that. Do you speak any Spanish?
Whoa, wait, who is this?
Her name is Kyrie Miranda. She is a fan. That's what she wanted me to ask you, and I told her I would, so there you go.
Oh, that's interesting. Actually, I am taking AP Spanish this year.
Oh, well, maybe.
That is actually one of the APs I'm taking this year, which has been the last week or so. I mean, like, I just realized what I'm getting into, which is it's pretty scary. So yeah, I'm going to have to start practicing my Spanish if I haven't been properly
All right.
the last couple of months. Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Actually, I probably need to do that after I get off of this.
He's working on it, Kyrie. He's working on it.
I'm definitely working on it. Hopefully by the end of the year I'll be able to speak a decent amount of Spanish back to people. I'd love to be able to. I think my dad, he sent me a text and he was like, guess what the number one television channel is in the US, and it's Univision.
That's so, yeah. Spanish would be
For
so
viewership.
helpful.
So which is I mean, really, really I mean, yeah, you wouldn't expect that at all. At the same time, like it's completely expected, you know.
Sure.
But so it's good that I'm kind of beating the curve there and learning some Spanish so that you know in 2050, I mean, 80% of LA is going to be Hispanic and Asian. So by that point, I mean, I'm going to be speaking fluent Spanish. You know, I'll be able to get some other acting jobs, hopefully,
There you
that
go.
involve some Spanish there that
There
I
you
wouldn't have
go.
gotten if I didn't know.
How did your open mic night go?
It went really well.
No
It
video
was
for
just,
us?
do I have a video? Oh yeah, you know what? I actually do. I posted it on Facebook.
Oh.
I'll send it to you guys.
You should. Yeah.
I'll send it. Yeah,
You have some fans.
I didn't put it on my YouTube because it was like a home. It was like someone took it on a cell phone or something, and I felt like it was like really, like impromptu, and it was kind of weird to put on YouTube. But yeah, I'll definitely send you guys the video.
That's what YouTube is for.
I guess
Homemade videos with a cell phone.
that's true. You're right. I guess. So I did that, and then I came back and had a little bit of free time. And then I went to so another thing I do is I play a lot of music. So I sing. I've been singing for a long time. I've been playing drums for like 13 years since I was 3, 4.
Wow.
I've been playing drum set. So I do that as well, and I play piano. I've been playing for about 6 years, and then guitar. I just sort of started up as a hobby, but I've been playing that as well. So I went to a music camp. It's called California State Summer School for the Arts. I had heard about it from a friend who plays bass, but it was kind of cool to go on their website and see that like Zac Efron went there when he was a kid. James Franco went there. So a couple of really big actors, a couple of musicians as well. I don't know their names off the top of my head, but a couple of musicians and animators that are with Pixar who went to this school. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And I auditioned for it and I got in, which was great. So I was whisked away. I went to California Institute for the Arts, and I was there for 4 weeks. And I met a lot of people, played a lot of music, learned a ton, had a lot of fun. And then at the end, I found out that they had awarded me a $2,500 scholarship, which was named the Herb Albert Emerging Young Artist Award.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
They had
That's
only
awesome.
given to 3 people in the music department, so I was very, very honored by that.
That's awesome. What does this money go toward? Like furthering your education, or?
Yeah, it goes to my education, so it'll go to my freshman year in college.
Nice.
So I mean, overall, the experience it was really cool to see a whole nother side of obviously, you know, as an actor and as a musician, I mean, there's one side of me that really aspires to do popular music and to act in film and television, you know, which is a very different world from the world of academic music and theater, right? So that world is totally different. So getting a chance to sort of experience that and see where I succeed there, what I can work on, you know, with my art, and just learning a ton. I mean, I've been playing drums for a long time, and we got a master class with Joseph Pereira, who's he's the timpanist for the Los Angeles Philharmonic, and he had so many amazing things to say about not only timpani playing, but just overall about just music and anything. I mean, it was just amazing how much you learn, and being able to take those things and implement them into your acting and into what you do on screen. I think that's what makes for me, I think that's what makes a really good actor. Like, I think that being able to take what you know about the world and what you know, and what you've learned over the course of your life, and being able to put that on screen, that's what makes you a real character, you know?
How old are you? For real. I'm sorry, it's Boston, everybody. Welcome to the Sirens. So answer me this, because I feel that the younger Ender's Game cast, you guys are all musical. Like, all of you. You can all sing, and you all play instruments. Like Jimmy Jacks Pinchek has his sing. Asa is musical. Abby has a band.
Abby's been doing stuff. Yeah, I've seen all of them. I saw a show that Jimmy did a while back. I went to that to go see him. He's so good. He's such a great blues guitarist, blues rock stuff. I mean, he's got that thing cornered. I mean, he's totally got that side. And then Abby's been doing great stuff. She's been writing a lot. I've been following her Twitter and all the stuff that she's been writing about guys and all the horrible stuff they probably put her through. So she's getting some good payback over there. which is really great. I actually got a chance when we were on set. Me and Abby actually played some music. I think we did like a Coldplay song, and we just in the set school we're like, all right, guys, we'll sit you down, and me and Abby did like a little duet of "Viva La Vida," which was a lot of fun.
I maintain that you all need to get together.
I know. Yeah, I was just gonna say there needs to be some kind of video of Peter Valentine, and Eli singing together.
Can we? Yeah, the second Abby gets over here, I think she's in New York right now. But as soon as she gets over here, man, we'll try and set that up. I've wanted to do it with Jamie for a while now. It's just, of course, both of us are so busy and doing some, he's doing some really insane stuff, and I've been just holding down with school and the camps and Comic-Con and all this stuff, and it's just been hard to get our schedules together. But yeah, we
call it Moises and get him and Jaden to do your music video, and you guys can have like
all the pieces are there. It just
has
to all come together.
Party, yeah, that'd be insane.
Why didn't they let you sing when you were on Glee?
Well, I mean, at that point, like, that was the first television role I'd ever gotten.
I have to tell you something really funny. So when you were on Glee, I'm a big Glee fan.
Right.
I haven't been watching it lately because I don't know, I've just kind of lost track of everything. But right. I was working as a nanny in Germany for a while, and the kids got a little older, and I was in university. I wasn't really working for them, but I was still really good friends. And we watched that episode that you were in, the Pot of Gold episode. And for some reason, that scene with you in the pool and the kid that plays Puck, the little girl that I watched for days would come up to me and she would be like, "Hey, I found a quarter and a dead raccoon." And it just,
are you serious?
4 days. It was the joke. And I'd be like, "You can keep the raccoon," for days. And then, like, I never even knew, like, I didn't put two and two together until Ender knew stuff that it was you, and it just made me laugh.
That is amazing.
It was her favorite line.
That is hilarious. Yeah.
She found a quarter and a dead raccoon.
Wow.
I'll have to send her this because she'll remember.
Please do.
I will.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to somehow find this clip so we can post it on our.
I'll look for it because
I'm sure it's up there. I think even some of my family probably posted up there so that my friends could see it or something. I can't.
It's just a really funny coincidence that I didn't even realize that was you for months, and then I was like, ah.
That's hilarious. Yeah, so I mean that was my first real television role that I got to really do anything major in at all. So at that point, like, you're just happy to be on the show at all.
Sure.
I think you know what I mean. So I was definitely really happy. I mean, I think that was one of the episodes like that season that Adam Shankman directed. So I got to meet him, which was really, really cool. And the guy who played Puck, got to talk to him. That was insane. That was the first time I was ever exposed to the whole process of shooting television or shooting film. And just like simple things like the way they light things or the way they move you depending on where they're shooting from. Even if you weren't standing in that same place like the shot before, to have you move because like when you look at it on screen it looks like you're in the same place. Like those kind of shooting things you just don't
right.
You don't even know those exist until you do it. So I was just appalled by all that stuff. I mean, I think we were shooting that scene was in a pool and it was supposed to be outdoors, but to control the light what they do is they put basically a huge tarp over you to block out all the light, and they fill in new light with their own light, right?
Yeah.
Which seems so counterproductive, but basically they're able to control all the lighting that they want, and they can put in as much as they want and get the shot to look perfect. Which I mean, that just blew my mind when I first saw it. And then was a whole nother level of special effects, which is Ender's Game, and just, I mean, the set design. The sets cost millions of dollars to make those. And then, of course, the millions of dollars going into stuff that I haven't even seen yet, which is all the green screen stuff. Just, I mean, that whole process was another thing that I was really impressed by and inspired by. Just to see the amount of work that goes into into everything. I mean, people have this misconception that that film is shot, with like 10 cameras at once.
Right.
And which is I mean, not really true. Usually they shoot with one camera, and every shot that you see is shot at a different time during the day or during the week, and so I mean, even for me, like to sort of take all these misconceptions I thought about film as an actor and be able to dispel all those and say, wow, this is real work. you know.
Right.
So was it
It's
hard for you to adjust to working with that much green screen?
I think that the people who designed the set designers and Gavin and everyone working did a really great job of giving you enough things that are tangible that you can touch and see. Like, you know, like in the dormitories, I mean, those things are real.
Yeah.
So getting a chance to be part of that and see all those real things around you was able to help prepare you for the things that weren't real. So even in command school, like the desks and things like that are real, but you know, but a lot of our surrounding space is not real. So having enough things to sort of draw inspiration from, and then looking out and just seeing green, you were able to adjust a little bit. It did take a little bit of adjustment, definitely. A lot of it's really technical, like eye lines and figuring out where you have to look to get things to look right. You know, because obviously at green screen, you're just looking at a blank screen, so you have no idea like exactly you're supposed to look on this, you know, gigantic space. So that was definitely something to adjust to. But I think that we had enough things that were real there that we were able to say, all right, okay, well, we're just gonna, you know, we're able to play pretend basically, and it was so it was not as hard as I thought it might be. I think like shooting Avatar, from what I've heard, like for shooting that sort of a film, the whole thing is green screen. I mean,
I can't
everything.
even imagine.
Yeah.
Because they're standing in a completely virtual environment. That environment doesn't exist. So that's a whole nother thing where like there's nothing real at all to see there. You know.
So
Yeah, when we got...
school aside, do you have anything else coming up? Do you have more plans to continue acting?
You know, I'm still out auditioning. Still looking for new stuff to do. Hopefully when Ender's Game comes out, that'll give me some exposure. That'll give me a little bit of credibility, and hopefully from there on we can see what more stuff I could do. Of course, I'm definitely pursuing acting and all this as a career, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in the next couple of years. Because you know, Ender's Game was sort of it was a big break for me, and I'm really happy to get a chance to do what I've wanted to do for some time. And then on the music side, I promise you guys there is some YouTube stuff definitely coming out. I've got I came out with some ideas, you know, like I've wanted to put out new material, things that are like right on the charts now, and sort of do my own versions of those. At the same time, I don't know, like I really love old music, and so I'm going to be, you know, like putting up videos like, all right, let's take a trip back to 1985 and let's listen to this song and let's, you know, pop it up a little bit and make it sound a little bit, you know, more so that like, you know, people in this day and age can sort of connect with it more, you know, and hopefully come up with some really unique ideas. I mean, I play a lot of percussion stuff, so I mean, I'm thinking of like just like vibraphone and marimba duets and singing along with that kind of stuff, and putting up jazz band music and just playing classical stuff and sticking it up online. So for the
These
next,
are a lot of promises.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you. You know what I always do is whenever I know I'm gonna possibly back out of something, I always like make it super like public and really clear so that I have no choice but to follow through with it. So this is my forum for that. So basically, I'm promising you guys all this stuff so that I will definitely do it.
It's like the opposite for
running.
me.
I did that with running. I went out and bought like I run off and on, and I'm just so bad at it and so bad with it. So whenever I start up running again, I go buy like really expensive shoes, and I tell everyone on Facebook I am running. And then like 2 months later, I'm like, guys, I stink. Like chastise me. It doesn't work for me. I just end up.
Yeah.
I guess for you it's a little different. You have a public forum, and I'm just me and my nerd.
It doesn't work for me either. Like usually, like I'll just casually mention that I want to do something or I'm going to do something, and then for some reason, the universe just makes it so that it just doesn't happen.
My friends would be like, "You will not stop it. You're a liar."
Right. No. Well, I mean, I think that's something that's also been really pushing me is to see the amount of support that I've had on YouTube, and on Twitter and everywhere else online. To see the amount of people supporting me and sort of pushing me along to it is really humbling and really astounding to me. So you know, because sometimes you know, like I don't know, like I tried to start a blog when I was when I was like 11 or 12, and of course, like at that point, like no one's following you. So no one knows who you are. So I mean, basically, your blog gets like 2 views or something like that, and you're just not motivated to really do anything.
Discouraging, yeah.
Right. I mean, you're not motivated to do anything else because the internet's so big. But you know, I think the last YouTube video I put up in February got like 12,000 hits or something, which is more than I've ever gotten.
I'm so glad because I mean, I don't want to embarrass you, but I think you're like incredibly talented, like well-spoken young guy, and I would like to
Thank you.
see cool things happen for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, so I mean, seeing all of that come up is just pushing me to go even further, and then hopefully, by the time Ender's Game comes out, I'll have definitely more than a couple of things that I can point to and be like, hey, just this is another side of me. This is another thing I want to show you that that I want to show the world. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing that over the next couple of months, and hopefully, yeah, definitely collaborating with Jimmy. I'm definitely gonna call him. We'll try
Make that happen.
Yeah, I'll do my best for sure.
All right.
Okay,
Cool.
yeah. So that about wraps it up for our podcast with Suraj Partha. We want to thank you so much for coming on and talking to us.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much, man.
For sure. Yeah, and everyone, November 1st, Anime's Gate is down.
Are we still trying to make November happen?
November. Oh, that's right. Hashtag November. That's right. Yep.
Okay, so in closing, just a couple things to mention. Harrison Ford had another appearance on Jimmy Kimmel, which was another hilarious interview, I thought. Or wait, was it Jimmy Kimmel or was it Conan? Which one did I mention
Conan.
last week? It was Conan.
Conan was the one that you
Yes, Conan. That was hilarious, I thought. Conan tried to bribe him with $1,000 to spill some Star Wars secrets, and it didn't go very well. So
I feel so bad for him. He's like bombarded with this. It's become a thing now. Like you see Harrison Ford, like no matter how much you know, he doesn't want it. Everyone just.
Right.
Did you see his reaction though? He started talking about it. He just busts out with his yawn. It was hilarious.
I did. It was. Oh man, he's so good at playing that too. He knows he's gonna get that question.
Yeah, I feel like he's acting. He's playing a role already when it comes to the Star Wars stuff. So it's fun to watch.
That it's amazing to be part of something so iconic. I mean, look, it's like 25 years. No, more than that now. Like 80s, like almost 30 years now, and you're still getting references to it daily. I mean, I go on CNN and like at the Atlantic and stuff, and every day it's like there's a new article about Star Wars, and not even the new ones, but like just articles about like the ones from way back in the 80s, and they're still there. That's how much clout he has.
Serge, I forgot to ask you really, really quick. When we visited the Ender's Game experience, there was a picture. They had like a flight, like a barf bag from the airplane. And it had your name on it, and I'm just really curious, like, do you use that in the movie? Because it was so funny. Someone sent me a picture of it today, wanting me to ask you, and I forgot. Like, that's to say it, like,
it said used by you. So
used by Suraj Partha.
Did it really? I'll have to go find that picture. So I definitely want to surprise you guys with this.
Okay.
Like, this is not just like something that like I'm not allowed to say. Like, this is something I genuinely want to surprise you with, because it is one of the hardest things that I had to do as an actor on that set. It is one of the hardest things I've had to do, and it was insane. And it oh god, okay, I'm not even gonna say anything else. It was really,
my imagination is going all in different directions now. I was like, wow.
I had a friend who said that one of their favorite scenes in the book is going to be cut out because I guess they had dropped a character in the film, and one of the scenes was going to be cut out, and it made me laugh, because obviously a lot in an adaptation, a lot of times what happens is they morph the characters and they merge scenes around and stuff.
Is this a Shen thing?
I'm not going to comment on that.
Okay.
Come on, guys. Come on. You guys, I always wonder why people want spoilers. It's gonna be, the movie's gonna be so good. People always want spoilers. I'm like, no. Why do you want to spoil it? It's gonna be.
No, I'm good without spoilers.
It is our job to find spoilers. No, you're fine. Crystal.
And then this past weekend, I made Ender's Game cupcakes. So if you guys want to check that out, those are on my site, enderwagon.net. And as of today, we are 71 days to November 1st.
71 days.
71. We're going to be like at 60 before we know it, and it's going to be just 2 months away. Oh boy. We're really only like a month away before you guys like start like going around for premieres and doing press and stuff like that. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, it really is amazing how close it is. So I mean, I'm really looking forward to all the stuff that happens.
Home stretch.
Right.
Okay, so we want to thank all our listeners for tuning in. If this is your first time listening, you can catch all our past episodes on our website, www.endercast.com, or you can subscribe to us on iTunes. You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook at @EGEndercast. And remember, shoot straight. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.